Hi, I'm Shoestring Jane. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things thrifty, frugal and money saving. And it's been a few weeks since I did a video. As some of you will know, my dad sadly passed away. I can't go into that too much at the moment because it just makes me cry. But I thought what I've been doing a lot of, and because I can't concentrate on very much whilst he was ill and since he died, I've been doing a lot of eBay stuff and a lot of like charity shop shopping because it doesn't require a lot of concentration and it gives me something to do. So I've pulled together some videos I've done over probably the last month, where I've either got freebies or I've been to the charity shop and bought some bargains. So let me first of all show you though my nails. These aren't frugal, but they're quite cool. My dad was a lifelong Hammers fan. His funeral's on Monday and I thought I'm going to get my nails done in his honour, West Ham nails. So I'm very pleased with those, really good. Let me show you my most recent, I'll start doing this, my most recent charity shop haul. This was just in our local Cap Protection and they're very reasonable prices in there. I'm always quite impressed. This is a dress it's a Gap dress, and sadly it's only a size 8, but it feels like it would be bigger, and I thought perhaps it would fit me. It's a linen mixed dress with pockets. It's a wrap dress, and it's really nice. We've had a lot of warm, muggy weather. I thought, God, this would have been the sort of thing I would have worn to work. You're not going to be able to see it because I've got you on landscape, but it's only a size 8, but I think I'd say it was like a 10 really. I think they charge £3 for dresses in there. They don't label anything, but they charge normally for the type of item it is. I think that's really nice. Sadly, it's not going to fit me, so I'm going to be putting that on eBay. These are going to be for me. This is very professional. I got these in the charity shop as well. I think they're either £2 or £3. And there's just a pair of really cosy slippers, and in the winter I live in my slippers, so I tend to wear through them all quite a lot, and these are good because they've got a rubber sole, so I can kind of wander just outside. I know you shouldn't wear your slippers outside. They're not actually sheepskin. They look as if they might be, don't they? But they're not. They're synthetic. They're Merrimack. Never heard of Merrimack, but they're real good cosy slippers. So they were either £2 or £3. I think they charge normally £3 for shoes, but I think they're slightly cheaper for slippers. So anyway, they look good, don't they, for the winter? So I'm going to put those away. They are for me. This is also for me. God, it needs a really good clean. It's just a really nice mirror. I thought, God, it's got wicker. And she literally, the woman who is running the show, so you can see my camera. She was just putting it out, so it just arrived, and I said, "Oh, how much are you going to charge for that?" And she said £2, which I think is a bargain. So, yeah, I do need to give it a really good clean. It's quite grubby. It's obviously been in someone's shed or garage or something. But I really like that. I do like a few sort of natural materials. The one in the bathroom's, quite tatty and old. I picked up this. This was labelled actually £1, just a Cath Kidston mug, because I'm collecting sort of nicer mugs, gradually replacing the ones we've got and trying to get a bit of a theme going. So now I have to donate. Each time I buy one, I have to donate or find one. Let's see what else I have in here. These were £4. They don't normally charge as much as that, but they're FitFlop. And FitFlop are really expensive new, so I thought they were worth buying. Although, FitFlop, so they're expensive new. They're not leather or anything. They're just kind of a vinyl type UPVC stuff. So, but they're not very worn. I think they're a size 7. Somebody would like a nice chunky pair of FitFlop sandals. I got this just for me. Another top as well. I think I've taken that upstairs already. It's just a plain t-shirt. I think it's Primani, just a plain t-shirt. I just thought, well, I haven't really got anything blue, and I actually have been thinking I need to go and buy a blue t-shirt. I did buy another top in there, which I think I must have already worn. Oh no, I tell you what I bought. I'll show you in a minute what I bought in there that was for me as well. But I'm always on the lookout now for vintage curtains or really unusual curtains, because I do find that the charity shops seem to sell them very cheaply. And usually that means I can make a bit of a profit on them, but I need to be careful because I've got something tucked in this. So I just picked up these. I've got two things tucked in here. I was using them to not smash the china that I bought in there as well. So they're just nice, kind of creamy, shabby chic rose floral curtains. Oh, they're not roses actually, are they? I don't know what they are, but yeah, they've got a kind of lots of froof on the bottom. I do find, I've always liked floral, and it really seems like it's coming back into fashion. I say to the girls, I always laugh and say, every now and then, every sort of 10 years or so, I accidentally get in fashion, because I don't follow fashion. I buy what I like. And sometimes that happens to be kind of something quite fashionable. But at the moment, I do like this cottagey look. I've always liked it, actually. And it does seem to be coming back into fashion. So that kind of chuck out the chintz thing that IKEA, the advert from, I don't know, for a few number of years ago now, wasn't it? Which kind of made everything very plain and beige. And I thought, what a shame at the time. And now it's all coming back. People are going back for their chintz. So they're just a nice pair of long curtains. So really good condition as well. They're cotton and they're vintage. I know they're vintage because they're made in Great Britain or made in the UK. I don't know where the label went now. Made in Great Britain. They're Jonelle cotton polyester curtains, because we don't make anything anymore. So, if you find anything made in UK, would be the UK, made in England usually, made in Great Britain, made in other countries like West Germany, we don't have any manufacturing anymore. So that's going to be vintage. So now you may remember that I picked up a plate the same as this, or the same sort thing. It's actually on the dresser. Identical plate. I can't remember if I got it free. I can't remember. If you watch my videos, you might be able to tell me. Or very, very cheaply. I think I got it at the church. There was a church little outdoor second-hand market as I was walking through with Archie one day, and I thought, oh, that's really cute. But I can't remember if it was actually in the free pile or if I just paid £1 or something for it. But then I saw that, so now I have two. And somebody told me what they were called, the name of the manufacturer, and it's gone out of my head. But I think they're lovely little vintage plates. I really like them. So I'll find a space for the second one on my dresser. I'm a bit annoyed actually, because when I did the dresser pink, I didn't use a finishing coat, because I was thinking it's not going to get a lot of wear, but actually a few bits have come off the top a little bit. So I think I'm going to have to purchase a finishing coat from Friend Chic, and at least for the top bit. The rest of it's actually doing fine. This is another little plate. It's a Coldport plate, June time. I think it's a candy bowl, would you say? It's just pretty. I just thought that's really pretty. What did she charge me? I think that was either £1 or £1.50. But what a pretty little shabby chic thing. So, and the other thing I'm going to show you, I'll show you what I bought, that I put upstairs, and I'll show you some more curtains that I bought when I went out with my mum and my sister recently. Okay, so this was the other thing that I picked up in the charity shop, £3 for a dress again, and it's a Masai, which I always think are quite nice. I don't know who does them now. It used to be Debenhams, but it's a black dress. It's a midi dress with pockets, jersey, really comfy dress. And I had ordered 2 new dresses, because I thought I'm not going to find a black dress in my size for the funeral, from Marks and Spencer's, just to try on. I wasn't planning to keep them both. They both came. One of them was quite nice, but it had massive puffy shoulders going back to the 70s, a la Laura Ashley. But it made me look like a rugby player, so with those huge shoulders. So I didn't want that one, and the other one was just kind of weird around the neck. So I sent them both back. And then I found this one, and honestly, it's really comfortable. It suits me. It's very flattering. So I did think I might wear this, but then my mum has really said she doesn't want people wearing black. She wants everybody to wear the colours of Dad's garden. So I think I will keep this, because, you need a black dress in your wardrobe, don't you? so I'll keep it. But I then bought a not frugal, expensive Jo Brown's dress, which I think is beautiful. But I looked in their sale, and they do have a very good sale on. But I bought one sale item, which I'm going to send back because I ordered a couple just because I knew one wouldn't be the right one. And then another one, which I just think is gorgeous. And it is a kind of claret and blue colours. So it's floral, but it's claret and blue type colour. So I thought this will do. It's a beautiful midi dress. I'll show you that in a minute. So here's my Jo Brown's dress. As you can see, it's really claret and blue, but it's really pretty. It looks really nice on. I'm really pleased with it. So I think that is what I'm going to be wearing. And all of the other things that I've ordered going back. This one was not frugal though. It was something like £65, which is kind of crazy amount to spend, but I just feel like it's an important occasion for me, and I'll wear this a lot. I'm going to wear this a lot, this dress. So yeah, quite pleased with that. Excuse me, I've just had COVID, so I am still coughing. These I picked them up when I went, as I say, to charity shop. It's a little independent charity shop it's on the way to Mum's, and I often pop into it. And they have really good prices, and all of their curtains are £3. And I picked these up, and Mum actually said, I think they might look nice in my house. So I said she could have them. But they're proper vintage cotton velvet, heavy, big, pink cotton velvet, going back to that kind of shabby chic, cottagey type style. And they're lovely. I think what I need to do is hang them outside because they smell like they've been stored for a bit. They're a little musty, but they don't have, they're very clean inside. They don't have loads of damp or anything like that inside. They don't have any kind of maker's label I could find anyway. So they're probably handmade. I'm looking at them now. I think they are handmade. They're very heavy. And they're clearly vintage. I think they're absolutely beautiful. But Mum decided that actually they were too wide for her cottage. There are actually two pairs because she's got a window one side and a window the other side. So they might have been perfect. They were the right length, but they were very, very wide. And she thought that she might get them professionally altered, but then she decided against it. They do have a little bit of fading on one edge, actually. Just looking at that one, they have some fading on that side. But yeah, I've got two pairs of those. So I think they're lovely. Somebody will love those for a cottage. So I'm going to sell those. I will have to take photographs just to show that bit of fading there. Didn't actually notice that before, but then for £3, you really can't complain. And as I say, I've got two pairs of them. So that's very good. And then I just popped into, where did I go? I'm trying to remember where I got these from. Can't remember. I got this from a charity shop the other day. Me and Mum had to go to Braintree. She had to go into a few banks with the death certificate, so I went in with her. And this was the air ambulance one. And I thought, what a beautiful, beautiful jug. Isn't that lovely? It just says made in England on the bottom. It's no make that it says, but what a lovely jug. And that was £2, which is a bargain. Really, really nice. My collection of vintagey pinky china is getting quite large now. I might have to actually stop at some point. And I know, excuse me, because we were looking at these cozy feet shoes for Justin's mum. They're for older people. They're wide and they're comfortable and they're sturdy and they're flipping expensive new, but easy Velcro styly clothing. And they were also in that shop, and they were £2. They were reduced. It says £6. There's their outlet shop, so I guess they've been £6 at some point, haven't sold. So I thought, well, I don't know if they'll sell secondhand because, older people might not use eBay or any other online service, but their families might. But I thought, well, I'll give them a go. Let's give them a go. For £2, you can't really go wrong. I only got 3 things in there because they were just about to close. and Mum had already gone and sat down in the coffee shop, so I didn't have a lot of time. I grabbed this because it's a big size and it was new with tags. It's Simply Be, and it's size, I think it was 22 or 24. Can't actually see the size, is it on here? 24. And it's a brand new long maxi dress. Beautiful colour actually, and it's got like a peasanty bit at the bottom. I think it's a lovely colour. I mean, I can't really wear this colour green. I don't think it suits me, but actually it's not that bad, is it? I do wear like a khaki green I quite like, but I think it's not bad. It's quite nice, and I know that big sizes of things, you know, there are fewer sold in the first place, I think, so it's harder for larger ladies to find decent second-hand bargains. So I say second-hand, it's never actually been worn as far as I can see. But so yes, I picked that up as well. So that's the most recent lot of stuff that I bought. I've also bought stuff that I haven't bothered to film because I wasn't really in any fit state to do so. But you know, it has helped me. It's helped me. It's given me something to do. It's distracted me. It did that when Dad was in hospital and since he passed as well. Just gives me something to do. I mean, I've got freelance writing I need to sit and do, but my brain is just fried. It's all over the place. We're focusing on, you know, funerals and, as I say, sorting out the banking and that kind of thing. And it's hard to really kind of sit and just think, I'm going to sit and I'm going to do some work. I just really am struggling with that. So doing this has been great because it's given me a reason to go out. I've had a look, I've cheered myself up with some bargains for myself as well as some to sell. And I've been trying to get my eBay thing up and running again for a while. Well, I'd say I've been trying. I've been intending to, and I haven't been trying. So this has given me the kick up the backside that I needed really to get that going. I do really enjoy it. You know, I love perusing boot sales. I like finding vintage stuff and collectibles, and even the clothing. You know, I don't mind. I've always done that, but really, it's the vintage stuff I enjoy finding. And so it's kind of perked me up a little bit. And when I feel down and if I can't concentrate, I can just sit and list. You know, put something on the telly and sit and list stuff, and it's just the thing, really. Anyway, I'll show you some of the other things that I have either bought or found, as I say, over the last few weeks and maybe last month, and then I'll come back to you at the end. Have a look. Another thing picked up from outside somebody's house. We've got a stack of Marmite tins, which this one is a bit faded, and a stack of Jules cake tins, which are lovely. But when you look inside, it's not faded at all, it's just the outside thing. So we've got, I think there's probably 3 in each. Usual fabulous filming. I'm hoping there's going to be actual Marmite in the bottom, or a Marmite sandwich. Ah, okay. That's a little bit ick, but it doesn't really matter. Align that with something. So there's those, and then this lovely, this is the one that caught my eye. Really nice Jules tin. And that's also got some tins inside it. So at very least I want a Victoria sponge cake to be in the bottom of this. You have a pink one. No Victoria sponge cake. How very disappointing. But yeah. Oh, nice little fox. That's a very Jules thing, isn't it? And a nice little stripe. Brilliant. I want somewhere to keep the flower, and this is going to be absolutely perfect place to keep the flower. And we'll be able to go on the plain one when I've got around to painting it green and reorganised it. So yeah, fabulous. Very pleased with that. And here they all are, stacked. Brilliant. Today's freebies from the streets of my lovely town, where we don't have a charity shop, is this lovely, really unusual Gisela Graham photo frame. Isn't it nice? I think I'm going to get a big picture of my dad, or my mum and dad, and put that in there, because I think that's really, really unusual and nice. And also picked up just another glass container. As you can see, I've got quite a lot of those, so I'm sure I can find something to put in there. And one of Izzy's friends sent us, as a family, sent us these lovely flowers the other day from Bloom and Wild, and they take a while, a few days to kind of really come into their own. I think I need to rearrange them actually, get those lovely stalks at the back. But don't they look nice now? Really pretty. I just was desperately craving chips, so I stopped at a fish and chip shop and just went crazy and spent £4.75 on these slightly anemic looking chips and some ketchup, but they're okay. They just could have done with being a bit more crispy. They're all right. Having all sorts of trouble trying to stand you up on my dashboard. I needed cheering up today, so I took myself off to the charity shops in Frinton-on-Sea, which is quite away from me, but I just thought it would be nice. It was raining when I left, and I thought, I know it's the school holidays and normally I would avoid anywhere like Frinton, but because it was really wet, I thought I should be fairly safe, the roads won't be horrific, and I was right. So I steamed through in the rain. The sun has now come out, and when I left Frinton there were loads of people in sort of skimpy shorts and things. As soon as the first bit of sun came out, they all whipped their raincoats off and, sorry, I'm still eating my chips, and started getting into their summer gear. So Frinton's quite a nice, genteel town, seaside town, and it's got some really nice quality stuff in the charity shops, loads of charity shops as well. But if you think lots of people with a bit of money go there and retire, there's lots of bungalows and lots of really lovely kind of art deco houses. So sometimes the charity shops are good. They're not particularly cheap, but I just thought, like this is how I needed cheering up. I'm eating these, then I'm going to head home, and then I'll show you what I've got. So I am back home. It absolutely chucked it down all the way home. So those poor holiday makers, they're putting their clothes on, off, raincoats on, running from the beach, whatever I expect they were. Been there, done that. If you've ever had a holiday anywhere in Britain, you know this is what happens. Anyway, I'll show you the things that I picked up. I didn't pick up masses and masses, but I did all of the charity shops. I was fairly discerning. I think I made a few mistakes. I was trying to be a little bit adventurous, really, with some of the things that I had a look at. Sorry, I'm looking out the window because the window cleaners have just been, but seem to be still hovering, so I don't know if they're coming back. I don't think they are. But anyway, yeah, I'll show you what I got. I tried to be a little bit more adventurous. Frinton's not cheap. The charity shop prices are not cheap, but I still thought I might find a few bits that were good value for me or worth buying in order to sell on. So let's start with this one. This was an error. I think this was a mistake. The annoying thing was I could not get any internet at all, any phone signal. In the charity shops, I couldn't get any. When you came out onto the street, you could just about get some, but I was trying to see what this was kind of priced at on eBay, and I couldn't open it at all, so I took a punt, and I don't think it's going to make any money at all. It's a Denby green wheat, and you can see I paid £6. It's a casserole dish, quite a small one, in really good condition. And it's got this green wheat pattern on it. I think it's fairly kind of common. It's not that unusual. Denby stoneware. And I suppose it's quite kind of old-fashioned, isn't it? It's not like some of the real chunky, nice blue glazed Denby that you get now. So I wasn't sure whether £6 was too much. And I think, if I was just having it for myself, and actually, it's actually a really good size for me, because a lot of the time I'm cooking just for me or for me and Justin, so that's actually a really good size casserole. Then it's £6, bargain, good quality piece. I looked on eBay and they're kind of all over the place. It varies a lot. People had started auctions really low, like maybe £3. I didn't actually look at the condition. They might not have been as good condition. And there was a buy it now for £18, but whether it will sell for that, I don't know. So, I think that was probably the first mistake, the first thing I bought, and probably a mistake. But then I picked up these Hotter shoes, and they're a really kind of nice, soft ballerina. You can see they're really kind of soft and comfortable. I really like Hotter. I've said this before. A lot of them are made in the UK, not all of them. This is the Naturals range, and it's made in Portugal. But they're really nice quality. It's in really, really good condition. I always do this with hotter shoes just to make sure they're not going to split along the base. And you know, if you want a comfy shoe, you can't really go wrong with these, and then a good quality shoe. I paid from the YMCA shop, I paid £6 for these. And having a look at similar items, I mean, I sell a lot of hotter shoes anyway because I always pick them up, but they do vary a bit. I reckon sort of £20 minimum for this kind of natural range in this kind of condition. Some of the shoes, hotters, are more expensive and some are cheaper, but I reckon probably £20 for those, maybe 25 if I'm lucky. And then I bought some more shoes. I don't often pick up Caramillan of anything now because I find it doesn't really sell. I think Caramillan's just so out of date now. These are in nice condition, stilettos, pink ones, size 5s. They've got a little sort of detail. I think this needs a bit of a clean, the ribbon, so I'll see if I can give that a little bit of a clean with something. And these were reduced. The reason I picked them up in the end actually was because they were reduced from £7 to £3.50. I think they must struggle to sell these in Frinton as well, because you get a lot of older ladies who probably wouldn't totter around on a pair of stilettos this high. So they're in good condition though generally, apart from that just little bit of, just tiny bit of grubbiness on there. I'm trying to think what best thing is to, that one's actually really good. It's the other one that's got slightly grubby. But yeah, I picked them up because they were £3.50, and that's fine. I'll find that things like this sit around for quite a long time and don't sell, so there's no point in overpricing them. Another pair of shoes which are definitely a mistake. Sometimes I find that if I buy things that are kind of ugly, and I say ugly in that, you know, people love ugly, what we call ugly, and they're not delicate and beautiful, but they tend to be comfortable and chunky shoes and clothing for that matter. Some people call it fugly, don't they? And these Joseph Siebel shoes definitely fit the bill. They're very chunky, size 7s, good quality leather, but you know, they're not going to be to everybody's taste, are they? I thought that Joseph Siebel, because I know it's expensive new. I remember years and years ago, probably 20, 25 years ago, I bought a pair of Joseph Siebel suede sort of clogs, and they lasted me for years. They were the most comfortable pair of shoes ever. But, you know, I'm someone who likes comfy shoes. I've got quite big feet, size 7s, and I would not be seen dead in the Caramillans, for example. I just can't be uncomfortable. I've got quite wide feet. But I wouldn't wear these either because I think these are just a little bit too, I don't know, they're a bit kind of chunky. They're not really my taste. So, but I thought that they would still go for a bit more. But I think they sell quite a lot in the US. They seem to be all of the good sold prices were in America. In the UK, I saw a couple that had gone for like £4. They'd started them at auction and they hadn't gone anywhere with them. So I think I'll be lucky to get a tenner on those, but I'll list them anyway and we'll see. So they're not everybody's cup of tea, but if you want a really comfortable pair of shoes that are decent quality, then something like this, you know, they're perfect. They fit the bill, don't they? They cost me £5, I should say. So I paid £5 for those. Will be lucky to get £10, but if I get my money back, then that's a good thing. Oh, something I bought. This isn't for resale. This is for me. And I love Joni Mitchell. I'm the biggest Joni Mitchell fan. Absolutely love Joni. I have some of her records on vinyl. I've got some on CD. I've got the blue one on both. But I haven't got all of them. I think I even years ago had some on cassette, you know, and they just wear out, don't they? So, but they're lovely, and the album covers are lovely. And when I saw this, it was in one of their locked cabinets. It was £30. I thought, oh, I just really don't need that. I just don't need it. But I really wanted it. I knew that if I walked away and didn't buy this, I would really regret it because Joni's so amazing. Love Joni Mitchell. And it's got the album covers are all there. So lovely old hippie artwork on that one. And this one, these are the early ones, aren't they? and it goes right up to the later ones. This is for the Roses. Court and Spark, I've got this one on vinyl, and it's actually a really good album. But you can see her music developing over time. It goes in a different direction. Hissing of Summer Lawns. I saw her about this time when she made this one. What's this one? Oh, Don Juan's Reckless Daughter, this one's called. I actually saw her live play Wembley about this time. It was about the 80s, I think. And she'd really developed into a different sort of artist. I love her early stuff best, but I still liked this older stuff. Oh, Hejira, this was a good one. So I loved, on to my favourite, Blue. These are not in order. This is my favourite album of all time. Love this album. It's poetry. Her voice is just unreal. And I love her, just love her. And it takes me back to my youth so much. You know how music does that, doesn't it? And this literally doesn't look like it's been used at all. This is Mingus when she went really jazzy, and she did an album with Charles Mingus, who was a jazz musician. So it's got the whole lot, all of the ones that I know. I do have one of her really like a ballet opera thing that she did, but I literally never play it because it's just not something I want to listen to really. But the early stuff are just amazing. I love it. And I had a look just idly on eBay what this would cost. The studio albums 1968 to 1979. So okay, so that was, when I said the 80s, it was late 70s for Don Juan's Reckless Daughter. What did it go? I mean, I paid 30, as I say. They varied a lot, even the new ones. But the cheapest new one I could find was £99, and they were at least £40 pre-owned at least. I mean, this is immaculate condition. I'm not selling it. I'm keeping it. Justin will not be pleased because the only place I really listen to CDs is in the car, and he does not like Joni Mitchell. I think you should give her a chance. I think she's just genius. Let me know in the comments. Am I right? Is Justin right? Is Joni Mitchell a genius, or does she sound like a dying cat? You let me know. What else did I get? I picked up this nice big chunky made to measure jug, which is a Jamie Oliver jug. I actually paid $4.50 for it. I didn't know. I had no idea. As I say, I couldn't get any internet. I thought this is quite nice. I might keep it. But if I wanted to sell it, one had sold for $9.99 plus postage and packing. So just this one. You can get some that were selling a bit more that had lots of different measuring cups with it. So I don't know if it originally came with a lot of porcelain measuring cups or not, really. I'm not sure. But, I'll get my money back, but I'm not going to make a massive profit with this. So I might just keep it. I think it's quite nice. It's quite useful. Nice big chunky measuring jug. And another thing, I could not get a value on this because there's nothing like it. So it looks very vintage to me. I don't know if it's vintage or not. You can tell me if you've been to Disneyland Paris. Have you seen anything like this in it? It's made in Italy for Disneyland Paris. And I have the mug, the plate, first of all. The mug, mini on it. It looks almost kind of hand painted, doesn't it? And the bowl. And I think it's really nice. It's a different sort of design to the usual ones you get, isn't it? It's just a little different. I thought this is really nice. Made in Italy. Is it vintage? I don't know. I'm trying to think when Disneyland Paris opened. I guess it was pre-2000, maybe 90s, was it? I honestly can't remember. But is this early? Would it be considered vintage, or is it really recent? I think whatever it is, I would like to know just for the purposes of listing it, but whatever it is, I only paid $5.99 for the 3 pieces, which I think is really good, because when I look on eBay for this kind of mug, they're at least £5 or £6 just for one mug. So the fact that I've got in an immaculate condition a bowl and a plate and the mug, and I've got them home without breaking them, it's got to be 20 quid of anyone's money, hasn't it? Maybe 25. So I think that's what I'll aim for. But I'd be very interested to see what you think in the comments. So let me know. And the final thing that I picked up today was this duvet cover. It's a king size duvet cover with 2 matching pillowcases, and you've seen the kind of colours that I like and I'm going for in this house and in my bedroom and everywhere, and I like pinks and greens and this pale blue. So I saw it, and it was a fiver. It was £5. Yes, it was £5. This was in the British Art Foundation. British Art Foundation is quite expensive, but I do find quite often for things like bed linen and curtains, even the expensive ones, charity shops aren't too bad, they're quite good. But I think this is nice. I'm not quite sure about this arrangement here. It's a bit flouncy, isn't it? And I thought, that's weird. I wonder if that's vintage, I thought, because it feels like really nice quality. I didn't know what make it was, but it's clearly pure cotton. And the pattern looks kind of familiar. When you've seen a pattern before. And when I looked inside the duvet cover, I discovered that it was vintage. Well, it was St Michael, so I assume it's vintage. Some St Michael, I guess, is not strictly speaking vintage, because I think vintage is after 2000. You'll tell me if I'm wrong, I expect. I can't find the label now. See if I can find one in the pillowcase. But it's St Michael anyway, rather than M&S, which suggests it's quite old. I can't find any labels anywhere. Cut, I'll find it. Found it. Okay, so Marks and Spencer, St Michael from Marks and Spencer, 100% cotton. I think there's a way of, does this mean it's 2008? It's got 0508. I know that I remember seeing somebody on YouTube telling me how you can date Marks and Spencer's things, but for the life of me, I don't know. Oh, hang on a minute. It says Marks and Spencer 93 down the bottom. Does that mean 1993? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, again, if you've got more knowledge of these things, let me know. I'm not going to sell it. I bought it for me. I bought it to keep. So it's really nice quality. So it's king size, goes with the theme in my bedroom. And when I had a look, there wasn't anything like this on eBay. There were other St Michael bedspreads, which frankly weren't actually as nice as this one. They were quite dull colours, and they were going about £20, I think. Yeah, £20 to £30. I paid £5 for this. So, but I'm not selling this anyway. I'm going to keep it because it's really nice, and it smells like someone's washing powder. So it's even washed and ready to go. So that was everything that I bought today. And then, as you saw, I stopped for chips on the way home and spent a grand sum of £5.75 on chips and ketchup, which I did actually, I carried on eating them as I was driving home because I actually was quite hungry, and had a nice cup of tea when I got back, and I really, really needed it. So yeah, so that's what I've done, what I bought today. So a few bits to list, a few bits to keep, a few mistakes. I do find I do better at boot sales in terms of just being able to chance it, really, when I don't really know something. Sometimes I'll look things up before I decide whether to buy them, but I don't want to be one of those people that's constantly scanning everything and looking everything up in the charity shop. I think, well, I'm happy to give them the price, really, and I hope that they don't mind if I sometimes sell things on. I know some people get funny about it, but for me, I think, well, they've taken their cut, they've taken what they wanted, and if I think there's a bit more value on it, and it can help me to make a living, then I can't see how that's an issue, generally speaking, anyway. So that's my plan. I need to get my eBay up and running again because I just really enjoy doing it, and I've been kind of let it go so much, really. Anyway, that's that for now. So that's it for now. I will try and do something for next week, and hopefully, we're moving on to the other side of, or we're just moving into the grieving process, I suppose. It doesn't end with the funeral, does it? But even when somebody is 92 and has had a really, really good life, when they go, they leave a massive hole. So we'll be trying to fill that, keeping mum company, propping each other up, just getting on with stuff, really, as he would have wanted us to. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're interested in this kind of bargain hunting, second-hand lifestyle, frugal living, that kind of thing. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.